Infinite risings. Well, it's evening time. Grand evenings to everyone out there watching this right now, and the breath conscious breathers and breath family. Grand day to all of you. So the main topic I want to tap on is more applications to Scalar. And there has been so many powerful shifts. Oh, I think the sun is affecting it. Hopefully we don't overheat, because after this, we're gonna have a live with Tommy. I'm gonna have to go in the shade for a little bit. When I go live with Tommy, I'll probably go back into the sun and have me sweat my urea out. If you don't know, sweat has urea, but that's not the main topic here. So every time you sweat, you are urinating. Iris, what's going on? So I want to tap into more applications to Scalar. If you guys have any questions about Scalar, let me know. What's going on, Haitian, Montana? What's going on, brother? Yeah, so we're going to tap into the applications of Scalar, and one of the use cases. So one of the main stories that I did put out there is about how ancient Lemuria, used Scalar technology to help them sustain life a lot longer, but also definitely improve the environment or harmonize with the environment. Like I said, if all these pyramids were active, I'll go into what it means. If all these pyramids were active at a certain point, just the pyramid shape alone, it's a form of it's a scalar geometric pattern. Just the pyramid itself. That's why on the foundational scalar, it's actually in a pyramid form within the wiring and the circuitry. So if every pyramid at one point was moving, I'll get into that very soon. If every pyramid was moving, every pyramid was vibrating at a certain point, in terms of the atmosphere, even if every pyramid in the whole entire world has different use cases. The ones in Egypt was mainly for ormus and transmuting and shifting the water that they drank. They were literally drinking highly structured ormus water from the pyramids. That's what it was used for. It wasn't inhabitable. It wasn't supposed to be inhabitable. You weren't supposed to live in it. It was mainly used as a power grid. But beyond a power grid, it was mainly used for shifting and cultivating the water. And at a certain point, if you go through different ancient texts and different cultures, you'll see that most of the time the pyramids were shooting up some type of light energy into the atmosphere. It's like when the Twin Towers fell and they had the lights beaming up. It's like that. So what is Scalar for those that are new here? And what we've been doing with remote scaling, we're going to take it up another notch with Breath Family for the last event. The first hour, we're going to tap into some breath work, and then I'm going to try something totally I have yet to do with Scalar. And that's going to be very, very interesting, and they're going to be the first group of people to experience what I have in store. Well, no, technically, whoever's coming Sunday is going to experience it live in person as well. So this, for Breath Family, which is an online members group that I have, they're going to experience it remotely. And let's see whatever happens, but we're going to tap into 1 hour of breath work, and then the second hour, it's going to be a remote Scalar surprise. And that's going to be huge for people with the C and all types of C's in terms of illnesses, because you can literally tap into any type of frequencies into you can tap into every type of frequencies, I'm getting powerful notifications here, any type of frequencies and plug them into the scalar. The scalar can literally pump over 60 plus frequencies all at once when you use a specific frequency generator. So if you are new to Scalar, think of Scalar as a magnetic force. You have electricity as more of etheric force. Scalar resides more in the magnetism side, where just like magnets, you can't really see magnets, but you can see the force when you bring the two opposites together, right? You see that force. So think of Scalar in that sense, that you can't really see it, but you can feel it, and even if you can't feel it, it's doing its job regardless in terms of your environment. So what we've been doing, people have been sending their pictures in, and we put them on a scalar blueprint, and we actually, what we also do, oh, he's going in the pool. What we also do is we put them on the blueprint, and then we put them on the actual scalar. So when we put them on the actual scalar, no matter where they are in the world, no matter what they're doing in the world, they're receiving over 60 plus frequencies embedding into their bodies. So any type of illness you have, even if you are quote unquote healthy, something to note, we have 5G towers all over the world. You don't think that suppresses our max capacity at a certain range? There's a reason why we're putting satellites up in the air for some odd reason, right? So when I had people go to remote places, and when you guys come for the retreat, that's what you're gonna do. But when people came to remote places and they brought the scalar, and I'll go over how to do that in the next, in the scalar playlist. But when people went to remote places in the mountains, and they turned on the scalar in remote places, they could feel the mountains right next to them. They can even hear high pitches, random high pitches. And some of you may experience that, or some of you may have heard stories where if you go to certain places deep in forest, you hear that pitch. That pitch is supposed to be everywhere. That pitch you hear, that 7.83 hertz, that pitch is supposed to be everywhere. It's not just 7.83, it's a bunch of different frequencies meshed into one. But that Schumann resonance embedded with all those other frequencies where you hear that pitch is supposed to be everywhere. And unfortunately, we live in a society where no matter, even if you're on the mountain, you're still being suppressed in a certain way with those waves of 5G. But the farther you go, the better. Yeah, sure. But still, those waves still hit you. I even got my Sifu to get his own, I got him his own scalar. And he's doing some remarkable stuff out in the middle of nowhere in China. There's some wild stories of people limping and all this different stuff, just going into the environment of where the scalar is. And it's even more powerful in remote places, for sure, no doubt. I got like 4 scalars, I'm about to have 5. No, technically 6. I'm about to have 6 scalars in my own environment. And sometimes it may be super strong for some people too. And for those who already have the scalar, all you have to do is just turn down the volume of the tablet, and it's less intense. But as your body gets more accustomed to it and detox from whatever you have to detox from, the easier it is. You can turn off the volume and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So, if we think about it, when you look at our ancient ancestors and you look at everything they transcribed on the walls and the drawings of interacting with different beings from all over the universe, stuff like that, and we see UFOs all the time, right? Whatever the case may be, in that sense. They have UFOs flying interdimensionally, right? Technically that's the technology. Our bodies do that as well, in a sense, when you go in the dream state, when you think of another quote-unquote time. And it's like you're pulling. It's really interesting. Whenever someone has anxiety, it's like they're chasing, I always say this, they're chasing breaths of the future. Whenever someone has depression, they're chasing breaths of the past. You can't recover your past. You have no control over the future whatsoever because things don't go out the way you really want it to go. The main point is controlling what you have now. And that middle ground, that powerhouse of the now breeds so much presence, physically and mentally, way beyond our comprehension in that sense. And the more you are present, the more gifts you start to receive, and beyond receive, just accept. And tapping into Scalar, what else can you do with Scalar? So not only are people sending in pictures, but they're also sending in like a fingernail clipping as well. That's their DNA. So no matter where the person is in the whole entire world, you put that DNA onto the Scalar, boom, they feel it all the way from here in Miami, all the way to Africa, all the way to Tanzania, all the way to Australia. Where else have we? All the way to the UK. They're feeling it. They feel it. I gotta have brother Guy on here and share this lady who he's been living with, who's having seizures and stuff, and it's subsiding now. That's how powerful the Scalar is. Any type of illness you have, Scalar imprints onto your DNA faster than anything out there. Because Scalar resides in 0 point. There's not point A to point B. It's 0 point. It's more of an impulse. A lot of people within this field like to say scalar wave, but in reality, it's more of an impulse. And there's only one particular device that you can actually use to measure it. And that device you can measure like your human resonance and your human energetic force. I gotta remember what the device is called, but they make it in Japan. It's like a $5,000 little mini gadget that that shows you everything. How do I send a hair sample again? If you wanna, yeah, we're still accepting remote stuff, but I think, you know what I might do? I might give, when I have the Scalar conference. So that's another thing we're gonna do. That's what I'm really passionate about as well. Building community. Building a Scalar community, in that sense. You can put your business logo onto the Scalar and see what happens. You can put a picture of your house onto the Scalar if it's like haunted. Yes, I've had someone send me a picture of their house because they feel like it's haunted. And they have better dreams, better sleep. So what we also do is we also implement biogeometrics as well onto the blueprint paper, and we place pictures. You can place a picture of your pet. If you got like a deep injury or something, you can send that in and we place it right on the Scalar. No matter what, no matter where you are, you're gonna feel it. I'm from Mongolia, and we got off the map energies and spiritual. Not sure what you mean. Yeah, I keep forgetting. A lot of people keep on coming on my page that are new here. So, again, welcome to my page if you are new. Another thing you can do with Scalar is literally place your water on there, and you will notice a difference tremendously in terms of your hydration. For sure, you can structure, you can structure almost anything. I put my headbands onto the Scalar. Before I give a gift to any of my family members, I put it on the Scalar. And some of you may have seen a quick glimpse of the new kimonos that's coming out that I'm collaborating with No Choice. That's going to be on the Scalar. So whoever's wearing that kimono is going to feel all that. I think I saw a request here. Yeah, so there's so many applications you can utilize for Scalar. Scalar also minimizes radiation in your household as well, especially if you put in the corner, because corners hold an energetic structure. It's really the foundation of the house in terms of your corners. That's where all the energy is like focused into. Corners, corners, corners. Do your research on corners and the spiritual, you can say the spiritual significance on corners. Any questions? If anybody wants to go live, you're more than welcome to. If you have any questions about scalar and amplifying the aspects of scalar. So what's scalar, like a device? So the scalar device that we have, yes, it's a device, but scalar in general, it can be your aura. Definitely check out the 30-day experiment we did with iHeart, who runs Aura Portal. And he literally took a picture of his aura every single day. And it shifted significantly every single day. That's how powerful scalar is, because scalar harmonizes with your aura. Your thoughts are technically scalar. They hold gravity, as they say. Your thoughts are scalar. So even someone dealing with depression, putting their picture onto the scalar shifts it dramatically. Go check out that Gloria and her testimonial with her niece who was going through depression and stuff of that nature. But the breathwork definitely gives a beautiful foundation to even accept more of that scalar energy, especially if you're doing breathwork and not just relying on the scalar, but actually implementing, doing breathwork next to it. Whew. It's a total different, powerful experience for sure. Interesting. Never heard much about scalar. Yeah, it's not talked about too much. Even Nikola Tesla himself, the Wyden Cliff Tower, that was literally scalar. He was literally going to pump. That's what he wanted to give the world in terms of free energy, because there are many towers, you can say Tartarian towers, but many towers of ancient times that use scalar energy. And I'm going to post a video. Oh, maybe you actually have it. Maybe I can post it up here. Let's see. Oh, I didn't download it. Darn it. I can't post it. Might be raining. Yeah, you can even put your urine onto the scalar. And technically your urine is DNA, right? So if you have a scalar, you're going to feel it. And technically your urine is blood. What gets more deeper than that? Now that's some powerful alchemy right there. But literally, scalar is just icing on the cake. But honestly, having a scalar has definitely shifted my life. And I thought, you hit the pinnacle and you're like, oh, there's nothing more out there, but I'm open to it. And then it was scalar. You could actually feel what scalar has done to my life and my surroundings, your area. There was someone that lives in Chicago, and we sent them a scalar, and they live in a pretty bad neighborhood. And within 3 months of her getting the scalar, literally, there was a drug house that was literally down the street and got raided by the FBI. And in 3 months, her neighborhood shifted dramatically. Dramatically. Something to note. What's also pumping scalar? The news. High definition TV. There was a point in time when high definition TV was super expensive, right? And then all of a sudden, they're cheaper than ever. Did you know high definition TV is pumping out scalar waves, but not the good kind? The one that creates dissonance and disharmony. Anytime you watch the news, anytime you watch a public program, there are specific frequencies that cause you, when you watch something like that, you feel it in your chest. Personally, I feel it in my chest. When you're very sensitive and very aware, you can feel the specific frequencies that they're pumping out through these stations and stuff. And even when you see protests, when people are protesting, if you ever see a massive protest, watch how there is a black helicopter around. That is not a coincidence. And that black helicopter is unmarked. We call it Black Hawks. And those Black Hawks, some of them are pointing scalar waves of disharmonious frequencies to certain protesters and stuff like that. So scalar creates another layer of protection, you could say, but it's really just harmonizing with the frequencies that is more into your body and combating all these 5G, all these towers, all the disharmonious frequencies that are out there that we polluted our world with. willingly and taking back control in that sense. Shoot, if my Sifu, you know, you would think, me and my Sifu had this long conversation where a lot of people think that the main goal is to be like a monk in a tower and not being affected, be in a lonesome place, stuff like that. But in hindsight, you're neglecting the reality of the major shifts that is being pumped into our Mother Earth. Okay? You're neglecting all those disharmonious frequencies that's creating a wave, a ripple of what we're seeing. So the more people have scalars, the more we can combat all these different aspects of disharmonious resonance and create a more balanced state. And even if you own a business, having the scalar tech within that space, super powerful.
No.
Yeah, you saw him live and it gave you anxiety. Yeah, because there's specific frequencies in there that creates a disharmonious resonance to the body, mind, and your overall outtake. A lot of people just listen to music just to listen to music, but they don't realize the frequencies behind them. Oh yeah, the 808s, yeah. Yeah, I've worked with certain artists and people within that field, and they know. You know, it's funny, most of them don't even listen to their own music. That's a deeper story. It's a deeper conversation. That's a deeper conversation. I'll do that for another live, though. Yeah, but you'd be surprised. You would think they would listen to their own music, but if they know of the 808s, if they know about disharmonious frequencies, they don't listen to their own music. It reminds me of the Tupac days, or when 50 Cent was just starting out. They were all listening to mostly jazz. They were just playing the game just to play the game. Some of them were just playing the game just to play the game. And 50 Cent is a great example, because look where he's at now. He barely wants to make music. He's more in the entrepreneurial business side of things. He's becoming more health conscious as we speak. Some of my circles have interacted with his circles, so I've heard, yeah, he's becoming more health conscious in that sense. So, my camera is fucked up, but I can talk about the music industry. Yeah, I have a little bit of time. I have a little bit of time here. If you want to go live, yeah, send a request to me. Go live with Neon. Alright, I sent a request.
Yo. What's up,
Hey,
man?
what's going on, brother?
Greetings to your beautiful day, man. Look good. I'm from Mongolia. My name is Bowler. You can call me. It's actually my given name is Bowler. It means crystal treasure.
Ooh, that's a fire name.
My camera's a little fucked up, bro. Like this, so it's better.
Oh, it's all good. It's fine. As long as we can hear you.
Yeah, it's nice. So I wanted to talk about like, I don't know much, so because I'm a self-taught music producer. I've been music producing for 4 years now, and I've been writing music, making music, and mainly hip hop. But ever since I learned that the 808 is off pitch in its frequency, and it vibrates on the lowest form of chakra, on the lust and violence. It engages with that. It resonates with that.
I don't know if you've seen the experiments they did with 808 music and what it does to the human body at a certain point. So I think that concert.
I've never seen it. What does it do? Yeah.
Oh, it does some wild thing. Look at Dr. Emoto's and what they does with water. Hey, what's up, Amani? Dr. Emoto's findings, and there's a certain point within the book and the whole documentary where it goes to specific frequencies in there. And there's one that is really close with the 808s, and you see what it does to water. And if it can do that to water and creates a disharmonious resonance, and literally it
Yeah.
looks like the water, it just had a particular geometry that you could tell it's disharmonious to the body in a sense versus playing violin music to just pure violin music into the water and how harmoniously constructed it was. So mostly of our bodies is made up of water.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
we're going to be affected by the music we listen to. It's that simple.
Man, so like we are water. How many percent is in our body are we water again? I forgot. So like
About 80%, depending on
yeah.
how hydrated you are. But about 80%.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, well, if what I know is that like everything is frequency and last time the last time I had shrooms, it was Cubensis strain. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it was Cubensis strain. And then it was two little caps I found on the rice field, and I ate them straight away. Didn't take no pictures or anything. And then it showed me that frequency has no space, time, or whatever that distance is. It vibrates. Like I was hearing a cricket outside, and that cricket was I was experiencing it not in my ears. I was experiencing it there. You know what I mean? Like when we hear raindrops, we're not experiencing it in our ears or inside. We're experiencing it outside, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, to a certain degree, but yeah, sorry, forget about but. The other aspect of it is going back to raindrops, right? And this is the tricky thing
Yeah.
with our our mechanics and how our body mirrors our environment a little bit, how it plays a dance with that. When the rain is falling, you know, in terms of our body, it creates a calm sensation. That's why rain itself is a great white noise in itself, but naturally, it's
Mm.
really beautiful. But when the rain is continuously flowing, our bodies harmonize with that and become more zen, more calm. And it just goes to show you in terms of water technology, in terms of the body and how it reacts to the weather, goes hand in hand. And water is in everything as well. Just like the air has touched everything, water has also touched everything. And the air and the water, they go hand in hand.
Yeah, wow, man, that's a deep revelation. Water is in everything, like it touched everything. Wow, yeah. That's deep, yeah. I wonder like, what else are we like our true form must be like water, then we, like holy water. Yeah. Yeah, like holy water.
Yeah, when we're in the womb, we're just encompassed by water. When we're in the womb,
Mm,
and
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
that's all we're swimming in. We're literally swimming in our own urine at that point too. Literally embellished by in the mother's womb in water, literally breathing in water and recycling that embryonic fluid back and forth.
right. Well, here's an off topic. I don't know if it make. I mean, I just had this recently, a couple of days ago. A little bird fell out of its nest, and I tried to. Well, I was observing it, and the mother came, and it tried to show its way, but of course the little bird can't fly, and so I picked it up, and I took it home, and gave it some water, tried to keep it warm, did some put some towels around, made a little home for it, and it spent 48 hours I think with me, and then it wasn't eating much, but like I tried to feed it, it didn't eat, and I gave it water. It did drink a little bit water from my palm, but then the weird thing is next to the bird, I'm not a sleepy guy, but I keep falling asleep. Yeah, so it was strange for me, and then I sleep three times. I fall asleep three times, and I don't know. I don't want to talk about the details and blah 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 blah. Anyway, I wake up. It passed away. I was what? I was like I didn't understand that. Like if that meant something. But then I've been ever since the bird uh passed away. I've been having dreams. I'm not the usual guy who like I don't have much dreams, but I've been having dreams. So I don't know if you got any comments on that.
Yeah, so birds, I'll also tie it back to the main topic here about scalar, but birds themselves are very delicate creatures. You can ask any vet hospital about birds when it comes to them closely dying. They're the hardest to save. And
Hmm.
and I'll tie it into your dreams before going into the scalar. So the delicacy and birds themselves, they love to play with frequency. That's the reason why they love to sing. There's a reason
Hmm.
why
Yeah. That's yeah.
you may have seen some videos with birds like literally glitching in the air and they're like frozen because birds in terms of the air, birds, they're air creatures as well. Birds have such a deep connection with resonance and frequency and pitches as well, and they love to going back and forth trees. So in terms of the energy grid with trees and stuff like that, they are the closest connected in terms of the biofield of nature, in
Hmm.
terms compared to other creatures today, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because the fact that they like to go from tree to tree to tree, they're literally going from power plant to power plant to power plant to power plant, and they're literally
Oh.
create a grid all over doing that. So tying it back to scalar and about the vet, there's one lady here in our community that's a vet herself, and she had. I'm gonna post a video before the end of December, but she had the birds on the scalar as well. Like they were literally close to dying, and when she actually put them on the scalar, all of them literally just came back to life. Like nothing happened within a matter of 3 weeks.
What is this magic wand scalar thing, man? I have no idea what this is.
Yeah. So what's happening is scalar resides in 0 point. It's instantaneous. So what scalar does is you're not creating scalar, you're opening a field, you're opening access to the scalar field, and you can pump within that scalar field. You can pump over so many different harmonious frequencies for the body, or for birds, or for someone with the cancer or any type of illness. You can plug that in. I highly recommend a specific book in the scalar workshop in terms of frequencies with William Reif and his book. And there's specific frequencies to everything. Just like you said, there's frequencies. Everything has a frequency, down to our human
Hmm.
body. We can even look at the Philadelphia experiment of Einstein, what he was trying to do with that ship, and why that ship went through the wall. But unfortunately, the people on that ship, the test subjects, unfortunately, that's what they are, the soldiers, they died and they got stuck in the wall, and they died because the main factor that they forgot to consider was the frequency of the people themselves. And everyone, and this is another factor and another confirmation that everyone is vibrating at specific different frequencies all at once. Down to your head is vibrating at a certain frequency, your eyes is vibrating at a certain frequency, your nose is vibrating at a certain frequency, your shoulders is vibrating at a certain frequency. This is why practices like Padai, that's what we implemented into alchemy in terms of tapping, just you hearing it, just you hearing what the shoulder uh, sound like, is sending even a different signal, just you hearing it chemically down to that specific area, beyond the physical touch, beyond the conscious aspect of it. And that's what audio does to us too. When we listen to certain music, it brings us to certain spaces within our minds and brings back certain memories, right? Same thing with the audio on your whole entire body.
Huh.
Oh,
So like,
someone
uh,
asked, how do I get into the Scalar program? So you go literally, if you, this is why I did it this way for people who are really truly interested. I'm not selling it just to sell it. So you're gonna have to watch the whole workshop if you are truly interested, and if it aligns, there'll be instructions of how to actually get the scalar for yourself.
yeah, that make when you say everything is a vibration, it makes sense because like when I was tripping on I wouldn't say tripping. I don't like to use the word tripping, but when mushrooms kick in, um, everything is in a constant motion, and that proves that everything is vibrating on a like your hands, your fingertips, like everything is moving.
Everything
And
is breathing.
breathing, right? That's there you go.
Everything is
Everything is
breathing.
alive. Hmm.
We implement this in quantum in quantum breath work, where this philosophy, not philosophy, but this ideology is great for people who, just like yourself, who've done a lot of psychedelics and have those experiences, but bringing it into like real world applications and stuff like that in terms of the quantum. So,
Hmm. So,
uh,
yeah.
yeah, I gotta go. So I'm about to hop on another
Oh.
live, but I definitely
Oh,
wanted
all right,
to
bro.
ask you real quick: are you familiar with square waves and sine waves? 'Cause you're a producer, right? So
Yeah.
did you know it's actually easier? This might help any type of music you create moving forward. But did you know it's easier on the human body to implement square waves instead of sine waves?
Square waves instead of sine waves. Huh. Okay. What does that mean? That means 3D, turning my thing 3D. What's that? What does that mean?
Yeah, in
For
terms of the
for
output. So the main default for music in general, when you're in the programs and stuff, is sine waves. But you can actually convert it
Hmm.
to square waves in terms of the frequencies and the output.
Okay,
And
noted. Wow, thanks. That's a
yeah, I,
revelation. Yeah. I think
yeah, I
that's
don't
what my
know.
friend was talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of music you make, but if it's healing or whatever the case may be, you are going to notice a difference when you put square waves instead of sine waves. And apparently, there's some deep ancient history about why sine waves is bad and stuff like that. But it's something to note to definitely try in your music for sure. I always, any type of producer, music wise, or any type of musical genius or anyone within music that makes music, I tell them about the power of square waves instead of sine waves. And something to note: when you look at a square and you
Yeah.
cut it in half, what do you see? And if you cut it in a diagonal way from corner to corner, what do you see when you cut the square in that sense?
Triangle. I see. Yeah.
Ah, there it is. And I'm gonna end on that note. I'm about to go live again with Tommy. So
All right, bro.
thank you all for
Thank you very
hopping on.
much.
Thank you.
God bless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you,
Thank
brother.
you.
Peace.
Yeah.
So yeah, just did a breathwork session with Devon, Black Airbender. I'm feeling great. I learned a lot in a short space of time, and I'm feeling completely electric right now. Words can't even describe the feeling that I experienced and the knowledge that I gained in just a short space of time. So I'll definitely uh, check him out and you know, have him pass on some of his knowledge to you as well. All right.